Hello everybody, this is PitchGoldBlank here, and welcome back to Underworld Updates number 77, in which today is going to be another generally smaller collection update compared to 76, in which I unboxed that massive 82 book bundle. Check it out. Just a few little things, a few little odds and ends today, nothing really massive or outstanding, but it is quite a varied collection update. We have a DVD, Big Finish, yes, Big Finish, I said that, books, and a miscellaneous item. So without further ado, let us begin this collection update. First thing is just something that I really picked up because it was cheap in a charity shop. I've seen this once before and I didn't like it very much, but it was there. It was only £1.50. I might as well get it for collection reasons. Doctor Who, The Return of Dr. Mysterio 2016 Christmas Special. Yeah, this is, dare I say, this is my least favourite Christmas special. Yeah, I absolutely hate this, to be honest. It's one of the worst Doctor Who new series episodes in my opinion. It's just corny, it's cheesy, it's cringy, and it's just very, very unpleasant to watch. Nardal is just absolutely pathetic and childish in this episode. The concept is just weird, corny and cheesy, and the writing isn't that good. It's just a big mess, this episode, in my opinion. I don't really like this at all, and I only really got this for collection reasons. And with that, I'm just going to leave it at that, because talking about it anymore will most likely give me a migraine. But yeah, that was the lone single DVD in this video, and now we're moving on to Big Finish. I have two Big Finish releases to show you, one of which I unboxed in a prologue episode of Underworld Updates 2, the massive book on bundle unboxing that I did in the last one. These two Big Finish releases, the first out of these two Big Finish releases is The New Adventures of Bernice Summerfield Volume 2, The Triumph of Sutekh. So yeah, this is a brand new set. As you can see, I picked this up in my local Forbidden Planet, and I'm interested in tracking down and reviewing all of the Bernice Summerfield Virgin New Adventure Big Finish box set sometime down the line, which will be in the Skulls General Reviews 2, which is a new series I'm going to be hopefully pioneering on the channel, in which I basically review things non-book, as I sort of want the books to be in their own series, as that's the main focus on this channel. But yeah, I have heard that this set was disappointing, but then again I watched TJ Productions' review and he was generally positive about it. He gave the first three stories an 8.5, a 9, a 9.5, and the final story a 7 if I'm correct. But yeah, here's a look at the front cover. Absolutely incredible cover by Tom Webster, I believe his name is. He just such a nice sort of composition of it. You've got Big Finish, Sylvester McCoy, Lisa Bauman, Sophie Aldred and Gabriel Wolfe at the top there. Big Finish, Doctor Who, BBC, The New Adventures of Bernice Summerfield Volume 2, The Triumph of Sutekh, with Sutekh in the middle, Bernice Summerfield, a mummy, the Seventh Doctor, Ace, meteors and asteroids and stuff, all sort of in this big sort of purple, lilac, pinky, sort of mystical, spell-like explosion of vortex. And then for the spine we have BBC, Doctor Who, The New Adventures of Bernice Summerfield Volume 2, The Triumph of Sutekh, The Pyramid of Sutekh, The Vaults of Osiris, The Eyes of Horus and The Tears of Isis are the stories in this set. And then for the back we just have what's in this set, and well, the synopsises of what stories there are in the set. And for the individual disc art, we have the Pyramid of Sutekh with the back of it there, and then the disc in there. The Vault of Osiris, front, back, and disc. And we have the Eye of Horus, front, back, disc. And then we have the final story out of this set, The Tears of Isis by Una McCormack, front, back, and disc, with a special bonus making of disc at the back of this set right there. And then there you've got an advertisement for novel adaptations, Theatre of War, All Consuming Fire, Nightshade and Original Sin. So yeah, I am interested in looking forward to reviewing this box set, and I will be pioneering the Skulls General Reviews 2 this month, hopefully, as there's another item, namely the miscellaneous item actually, which will surprise a lot of people, that I want to pioneer the Skulls General Reviews month event 2 of by reviewing later this month. But yeah, there we go, Doctor Who Big Finish New Adventures of Benny Summerfield Volume 2, The Triumph of Sutekh. Next Big Finish release that I purchased is another one that I unboxed in a little prologue episode to Underworld Updates 76, The New Adventures of Benny Summerfield Volume 3, The Unbound Universe. I have unboxed this in more detail, but just to recap: Story 1, The Library and the Body, front, back, disc. Then we have Story 2, Planet X, front, back, and the disc. Then we have the third story, The Very Dark Frame, front, back, and the disc. Then we have the final story of the set, The Emporium at the End. So there's the front, the back, the main disc, and then the bonus making of disc from the set. So yeah, this was my first sort of set that I bought out of the two, and is my sort of when I start picking up Big Finish releases again. I will be picking up more Big Finish releases, mainly maybe Benny Summerfield ones and Companion Chronicles hopefully, and be reviewing them for the Skulls General Reviews 2 sometime down the line. But yeah, as I mentioned and showcased in my prologue episode, I found this set for 15 quid. I just spent £30 on this set in my local Forbidden Planet. But yeah, those two Big Finish releases for you right there: The New Adventures of Benny Summerfield Volume 2, The Triumph of Sutekh, and The New Adventures of Benny Summerfield Volume 3, The Unbound Universe. So yeah, very excited to listen to those sets, and I will be reviewing them for the Skulls General Reviews 2 down the line. Next up we have a couple books right here, two of which I'm just going to be showcasing. The other one I will just unbox. So let's start off with the unboxing of this parcel in here. So yeah, let's just go. Quite happy to have this book in here, and it is one I'm going to be reviewing sometime soon. It is the Benny Summerfield Virgin New Adventure, Down by Lawrence Miles. So yeah, I am interested in reading this, and I mainly bought this book for one reason. It's that this book, Christmas on a Rational Planet, and Dead Romance form what I like to call the Faction Paradox Foreboding trilogy. These three Virgin New Adventures all forebode to the Faction Paradox arc in the 8th Doctor adventure books. And how I'm going to be sort of reviewing books in the future, or what books I'll be reviewing in the future, or my sort of game plan is to read and review some of the other Benny Summerfield Virgin New Adventures, then go into reading this trilogy, and from there I will go into the 8th Doctor adventures for a short stint by reviewing this book, Alien Bodies by Lawrence Miles. I've talked about this particular book briefly in a live stream, briefly showed it, and talked about it in my Underworld Updates number 76 live stream, but I've never really showcased it in depth. So here is my copy of Alien Bodies that I managed to find for £4. But anyways, here is Down. So we have The New Adventures NA, down, Lawrence Miles, and then there you've got a nice sort of prehistoric like forest right there, with Bernice riding whatever the fuck that is. Then for the spine we have down, Lawrence Miles, NA, and then down is in like this sort of goldy mustard sort of peanut butter colour. And then for the back we have the title, synopsis, The New Adventures, a bit about Lawrence Miles, cover design is by Slater Anderson and cover painting is by Mark Salawowski. Then you've got the original prices and the barcode. Down, mankind expects pain, however it seems to outsiders. Tyler's Folly, a colony world of unattractive side of Earth space, a planet wrecked by earthquakes and plagued by off-world body snatchers. When the local authorities pull a bedraggled Professor Bernice Summerfield out of the ocean in an off-limits quake zone, they naturally want to know what she is doing there, but the professor can only mumble something about woolly mammoths and saber-toothed tigers. According to Bernice, the planet is hollow, its interior inhabited by warning tribes of cavemen and strangely unconvincing prehistoric monsters. Some dark and ancient god rules this underground kingdom, albeit a dark and ancient god with a penchant for 30s pulp adventures and Saturday morning action serials. Can Bernice's claims be true? Is Tyler's Folly really under threat from an ageless subterranean horror? And why does so much of her story revolve around the utterly abnormal alien known as X triple dot comma or question mark? Is that a typo there? Is it just called X? Then we have the New Adventures, and Lawrence Miles is author of the acclaimed Virgin New Adventure novel Christmas on a Rational Planet. Although he's using the word acclaimed just as loosely as all other Virgin New Adventure writers do, you'll be glad to hear that this one makes just as much sense. And then for the interior of this Doctor Who book we have NA down, a quote from the book, which I won't bother reading as I don't want to spoil it for me. The New Adventures down, Lawrence Miles, NA. Then there you've got various copyright guff, a bit about the book by Lawrence Miles, I do believe, and then there you've got this who this book is dedicated to, and the beginning of this book. This is a, good grief, this is quite a thick Virgin New Adventure, Bernice Summerfield adventure, spread across 311 pages, spread across a prologue, an epilogue, as well as 24 core chapters. And then for the back of this book we have, coming soon in the New Adventures, Deadfall and Ghost Devices, and then they've just got the end of the book there. So yeah, I am really quite interested in reading this book. This sounds like a fantastic Doctor Who book, this one is. And I'm just really interested in reading the Faction Paradox Foreboding trilogy, and then going into reading Alien Bodies, and then doing something else with the 8th Doctor adventures that I will mention next. But yeah, there is that book, Down, by Lawrence Miles, a Bernice Summerfield Virgin New Adventure, in signalling me completing the Faction Paradox Foreboding trilogy, which I will be reviewing sometime soon. Christmas on a Rational Planet, Down, and Dead Romance. And so yes, as I already have shown, but I will sort of talk about it more now, we have the legendary Alien Bodies. So yeah, what do I need to say about Alien Bodies that hasn't been said already? It's one of the most iconic and prolific Doctor Who books. So yes, as I was saying there before the memory card blocked me, this is one of the most prolific and iconic Doctor Who novels ever written, probably the most iconic out of the entire 8th Doctor line, I would say, arguably, maybe tied with the Year of the Intelligent Tigers. But yeah, I am really excited to read this, and I am very interested in to see how those specific monsters from this book, or those specific villains or monsters or whatever, return in this book. But yeah, for the front we have Doctor Who in that sort of nice icy colour, Alien Bodies, BBC, Lawrence Miles there, and for the cover you have this really interesting sort of like far out zoom of like blood cells and stuff mingling in sort of this nice sort of red gradient up to dark blue, black, with a sort of circle on the front of it with, I don't know what that is in the background, but it's all sort of bent and stuff, so it looks like all of these sort of blood cells and I think parasites and stuff are all sort of in this big sphere, It's a really interesting and different cover, very interesting and almost mystical to look at. Then for the spine we have Doctor Who, shrunken down bit of the cover, Alien Bodies, Lawrence Miles, BBC, with a continuation of that sort of shot out of the blood cells. I've actually just remembered, it reminds me of that sort of overshot shot of the planet Logopolis in Logopolis, a bit where it just shows all of the sort of homes and stuff with the sort of pathways and stuff. It sort of reminds me of that a bit. But yeah, that's not a problem. I absolutely love Logopolis, hugely underrated, 10 out of 10 story for me. So yeah, then we have BBC at the bottom of the spine right there. And then for the back we have a shrunken down bit of the cover. Then we have barcode BBC $4.99, with a continuation of that sort of lovely sort of blood cell parasite sort of thing. And I've just realised this. I think with sort of blood and stuff, when it's in your, this could be a complete myth, but when it's in your body, blood is actually blue, and when it's oxygenated or when it's exposed to air, it's red. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I've heard, and I think the sort of cover pan with the sort of gradient of red and blue is meant to represent that. I could be wrong. And then there you've got a sort of shrunken down bit of the cover again, synopsis, barcode BBC $4.99, and now for the synopsis. On an island in the East Indies, in a lost city buried deep in the heart of the rainforest, agents of the most formidable powers in the galaxy are gathering. It is called Mission to the Unknown. They have been invited there to bid for what could turn out to be the deadliest weapon ever created, the Time Destructor. When the Doctor and Sam arrive in the city, the Time Lord gets stung by a Varga plant and realises they've walked into the middle of the strangest auction in history, and what's on sale to the highest bidder is something more horrifying than even the Doctor could have imagined, something that could change his life forever. And just when it seems things can't get any worse, the Doctor finds out who else is on the guest list. This book is another in the series of adventures featuring the 8th Doctor and Sam. Then for the interior of this Doctor Who book, we've got quite a bit of a shocker. Yes, I picked this book up for £4. I've mentioned this before, but I have a very interesting story with this book. I live near this big bookshop about a 15-minute drive away, called Bookends, and in there they sell, and there I've bought quite a few Doctor Who books in there and stuff in the past, such as Devil Goblins from Neptune, and the first sort of Virgin Missing Adventure, sort of original fiction, classic series Doctor books I ever picked up, science fiction, Parallel 59, and the Algebra of Ice, all for £4 each. Those were the first 3 classic series original fiction novels I ever picked up, and I picked this book up probably maybe around a month ago now, in Bookends for only £4, which is unbelievable. Sitting on this stack was this book, the Virgin Nude Adventure, Nightshade, All-Consuming Fire, Conundrum and Head Games, all for £4 each. I wanted to buy pretty much all of them because I didn't have them yet, but I was trying to be cautious with money, or conscientious with money, and I just decided to get this one in the end. I went back there maybe a week later to try and get the copy of All Consuming Fire, but those 4 other books were gone, so I got quite lucky with this. Then we have Doctor Who, Alien Bodies, Lawrence Miles, BBC Books. Then there you've got other titles available from BBC Books. A body will remain in motion until another force acts upon it. Very interesting sort of quote. And then there you've got a quick note on cross-species translation conventions. I'll have a look at that when reading this book. And then there you've got the contents. As you can see, it is a 313 page long Doctor Who book, so again quite thick, with the contents there. Prologue, last rites, and then so it's split across a prologue and epilogue 14 core chapters, as well as 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 sort of sub-chapters, I guess you would call them, which are very short in general. As you can see, I think most of the chapters. If there's memory card blockage in your neighbourhood, who are you gonna call? Amazon for fucking noose. Anyways, yeah, memory card blockage again. I'm moving on. Really looking forward to this book. The next book I'm going to show you is Father Time by Lance Parkin. Yes, in my big bundle unboxing, I managed to unbox 5 books out of the Earth arc, which are The Burning Casualties of War, The Turing Test Endgame, and Escape Velocity. This arc is a 6-book story arc out of the 8th Doctor adventure books. I unboxed these 5 in my previous Underworld update, and I have recently acquired this, thus completing the Earth arc, and I will be reviewing all 6 of these books in the future. Oh, pretty soon, hopefully, whenever I get around to finish reading the well, more of the Benny Summerfield books. But yeah, Father Time I am looking forward to reading. So we have BBC, Doctor Who, Father Time, Lance Parkin, and then we've got a picture of a snowy forest with the sort of snow morphing and undulating and creasing into like a blanket, covering up this child quite creepily looking at me, probably hiding from Jared. Then we have The Spine with Doctor Who shrunken down bit of the cover, Father Time, Lance Parkin, and then there you've got a ex-library sticker, as this is a ex-library copy, and then there you've got the sort of back with the shrunken down bit of the cover, continuation of that sort of nice snowy forest effects. Then there we've got the synopsis, the sort of barcode, then Doctor Who and the TARDIS are trademarks of the BBC. I love her, the Doctor said. Of course you do. She's your daughter. Earth in the 1980s is a battleground. Rival alien factions have travelled from the far future to pursue their vendetta, with UFOs filling the skies, a giant robot stalking the Derbyshire hills, and alien hunters searching for the mysterious last one. The Doctor is the only man who can protect the innocents caught in the crossfire, but old scores are being settled. The fate of the Galactic Empire is at stake, and against his will, the Doctor is drawn into a decade-long war that will strike at those he holds most dear. The Doctor has lost his memory, his friends, his past, and his TARDIS, and he has now all he has now is the love of his daughter. But will even that be taken from him? This is another in the series of adventures for the 8th Doctor. And for the interior of this book, we've got ex-library guff, Doctor Who, Father Time, Lance Parkin, more ex-library guff, and then there you've got various copyright guff, dedication, and then there you've got the sort of start of this book. This is a 29 chaptered Doctor Who book spread across 280 pages with an album at the end. Yeah, quite a good list of music there that I don't know apart from Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses. And then there's some guy in it called this list as well called David Brownie, whoever he is, and then they've got a bit about the author at the back there. So yeah, this one I have heard is meant to be a fantastic 8th Doctor adventure book, and I am somewhat looking forward to it. But to me personally, the blurb, albeit sounding good, does sound rather overblown. And Lance Parkin also did write The Dying Days, which is just a mess of a Doctor Who book in my opinion. So I am somewhat looking forward to this book, but it is the penultimate one out of the Earth arc, so it's quite a long way off yet, so I don't have to put myself through it just yet. I've got quite a few books to get to before reading it. But yeah, Father Time by Lance Parkin, somewhat looking forward to reading it, and I will mainly be reading it just to review and complete the Earth arc. Not massively looking forward to this book, but it could surprise me, and I have heard it's one of the better 8th Doctor adventure books there is. So yeah, I will be reviewing that sometime down the line. Father Time, Lance Parkin. And now for the final item in this video is a bit of a miscellaneous one. Yeah, and I will be reviewing this sometime later this month. or on a date later this month. And yeah, I will be reviewing this item to start up the Skulls General Reviews 2, in which I review everything non-Doctor Who. This is a very random item and a very random way to start off the Skulls General Reviews 2, but what this is a Doctor Who, the First Doctor, Funko 2017 Fall Convention exclusive Funko Pop. So yeah, I saw this in my local Forbidden Planet for 15 quid, never knew it existed, and just picked it up because I love the First Doctor. The paint application on this looks very good, and I am interested in giving it a review. So yeah, and my local Forbidden Planet had two different copies of this figure, and the other one of which had this weird paint smear just underneath his nose. It was like a really long, elongated Hitler mustache. But yeah, very happy to have this in my collection. It's more First Doctor goodness, and he is just absolutely adorable. So yeah, this will be reviewed sometime down the line, or later this month, hopefully. So yeah, don't really have much more to say on it than that. I'll be reviewing this in the future. There you go, a Doctor Who First Doctor Funko Pop. Just like, favorite, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Pitch Gold Black dematerialising.